individuals, whether they live in Keene or not, have rights of access to the central square, which are different than the rights you might have access to private property.
Central Square is a very protected environment, correct?
You say protected, legal, in other words, it's a legal, basically, it's a central square.
It's a place where people should be able to speak their mind and speak openly.
It's a place where people have gathered since the founding.
That's correct.
Of the city of Keene, correct?
That's correct.
Don't you think, sir, that when there is an allegation that an ordinance has been violated, whether it's skateboarding or anything else, that the individual who allegedly violated the ordinance should be entitled to a judicial hearing?
Actually, relevance, it's opinion, it's going to make a legal argument.
That's the essence of your legal claim, isn't it?
Well, I didn't ask this question.
I mean, I guess what I'm asking, what difference does it make what his answer is? I have to make that decision.
That's true, John, and I'm prepared to withdraw from this. Sir, in terms of this no trespass order, which I think has already been marked as Exhibit 1, you said the police chief asked you for that authority.
That's correct.
Where did the 1 year come from?
I don't know.
Well, was that his decision, your decision, somebody else's decision?
I'm not sure. It's not my decision.
So it wasn't something you decided, that it should be 1 year?
No, I did not decide that.
So essentially, you authorized the chief of police to proceed with the no trespass type process, but the mechanics of it, including the form that's used and the length of time and stuff, those decisions were made presumably by somebody in the chief police department, not by yourself.
That's correct.
And you heard the questions that I asked Officer Short earlier about, criteria for when do you issue a summons as opposed to when you issue a no trespass order. Are you aware of any criteria in place that will guide an officer's discretion in that regard?
No, I'm not. I was asked simply for permission to issue the trespass order.
And that was essentially the beginning and end of your involvement in this particular.
Essentially correct.
And so far as you know, it's an issue in which the city council has had no involvement.
City council has had no involvement from my office and from anyone else that I'm aware of.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
You okay?
Yeah. Yeah, this is what
Can you just go back? You need you?
I don't have any further questions.
No, you-
I don't. Thank you.
Thank you. You can go back to
Thank you, Your Honor.
The city manager was authorized to allow or permit the Keene Police Department to issue no trespass cases to certain individuals who violate state or city ordinances in the center square. They were there.
What about the aspect of the fact that the orders escape judicial or any kind of review? Does that trouble you in any way?
I think New Hampshire case law says, and I'm referring to the state Conley. Yeah, but I did cite it in my objection, 130 New Hampshire 688, that the state constitutional right of free speech, which Attorney Meyer referenced today, is not absolute, but may be subject to reasonable time, place, and manner regulations that are content neutral, however, serve a significant governmental interest and allow other opportunities of expression. Graham Colson wasn't prohibited from entering any other public property. He was only prohibited from being in Central Square. It did not concern, when he was issued a no trespass, it did not concern an incident that he was engaged in free speech. It concerned a violation of the city ordinance, which he had adequate notice of. There were, Officer Short testified that he personally had warned him prior to issuing the no trespass order of this ordinance. There are signs posted in Central Square. He had adequate notice. It was a civil remedy. It was within Sergeant Short's discretion to serve him with a no trespass order versus issuing him a city ordinance violation. That was within his discretion. And again, Mr. Colson can exercise his rights to free speech in any other area in Keene, just not Central Square. The purpose behind it was to preserve that space for the rest of the community, to enjoy an area where people aren't consistently violating state laws, city ordinances. It's a small space in Keene, and that was the purpose behind it. It serves that purpose. It narrowly serves a significant governmental interest, and that's the reason behind it. And RSA 49-C:16 authorizes the city manager to make that decision